Hood trumpets, hood trumpets, hood trumpets in the shop. Hood trumpets, hood trumpets, hood trumpets, hood trumpets in the shop. Standing on dry grounds with fertile roots that cannot grow. No matter how much it rains, the foliage carries low. Just blocks from Freedom Square at home, and just so you know. Forced to square up for our freedom, our village pays the toll. In blood, sweat, and tears, in exchange, social control. Hollow bodies hit the grounds with the sounds of blackness. Optimistic making rounds in the midst of madness. As long as you keep your head to the sky, you got this, you can win. And can't nobody tell us what is best, keep going in. Revolutionize your reform as request conquering. Pick up a book and go learn a lesson and plug it into the streets. Dismissing you as a blessing. I've been stressing about how to make abolition the manifestation of a solution. For those who really care, they'll listen with resolution. See, no words feel quite right for this moment. We in the midst of an uprising for equity with COVID masks, free breathing up it. Yet I keep pushing in the belief that something better will cooking. So please go mobilize your networks instead of just looking from the sidelines of your social media feed. Organizing can't be done from the bleachers. You gotta lead. Money, time, and talent, one of three can fill a need. Please proceed. Please proceed. Please proceed. And there's no ideal vision of perfection. If I may make a suggestion, get in where you fit in before the next election. Make a connection so we can all start to build to where we're destined. Hood trumpets, hood trumpets, hood trumpets in the shop. Hood trumpets, hood trumpets, hood trumpets, hood trumpets in the shop. Hood trumpets, hood trumpets, hood trumpets in the shop, in the shop. Hood trumpets in the shop, hood trumpets.
All right, real quick. This is absolutely my favorite. It resonates, you know, and it allows me to meditate without effort. And I'm not from the Chi, I'm from Alabama, country born and raised. You're constantly talking about how awesome Chicago is, like all the time. Everything good comes from Chicago. Okay. I remember being in your passenger seat, we're driving, going someplace, and I know the lyrics they lend towards more than that, right? There's a political aspect to it, but the way the music is laid, it gives me a taste of Chicago, but for whatever that tastes like, not being from there, and this is absolutely my favorite song.
That's awesome. I will say, like, I was driving with Steven one day, because after I leave the studio, I have a version that comes with me. I'm listening to it on the way home, and that's how I'm processing what needs to be changed when we get back into the studio, the next section. And I'm playing it for Steven, and he was like, man, I love this song. And he was like, where are the trumpets? And I was like, you're right. And I told him first, I was like, when I got back in the studio, I was like, Verse, this song has no trumpets on it. And so Verse was like, that's true. So, like, you know, he went back and, like, added the trump. We tried to figure out the right kind of trumpets to add. So, like, you know, shout out. I'm really glad that you said that, because it was like you infusing that, listening to it and connecting in that way and adding the element. We were so close to it that we didn't even hear that there wasn't a trumpet, because we didn't. The song was already named. The track is already named. It's in the book. Hood Trumpets. That's the name of the. So, but like, we're not thinking this just has to have a trumpet. But when we listened to it, that was the missing element. And then when we added the trumpets in it, it just like set it up just right. So, shout out to that. Shout out to you. What other thoughts do people have about that particular track? This was written during the pandemic. With all the things that were happening, and it made it into the book, and therefore it made it into, and I debate again, this was one of the ones where I was like, am I crazy enough about this track to include it? But I was like, I feel like it's still necessary and relevant and important, so it got included in this. Trent?
You can definitely hear the optimism and the wonder of, like, you can tell, like, hearing you say that it was produced during the pandemic. Now you can actually hear and you can channel back to that moment of everything of not knowing what's going on, what's going to happen next, or it just channels a space and time, a time period, and it makes you reflect on where you personally, as the listener and the viewer, is like where you were during that time period, what was going on in your life, such.
Yeah.
So definitely a time of not knowing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I appreciate being able to look at the album cover while these tracks are playing, because as it's playing, I'm like finding pieces of the track in this artwork, which is, I don't know if that was purposeful or not, but that's super dope. I just want to shout that out, right? Well, but like there was something about it, like the skyline for me in this track was really strong.
That's what I was looking at too.
Yeah.
I was looking at that too.
It was the skyline for me, but and like, I don't know if you've seen Harlem. But like, if we had a shy version of Harlem, this would be like the track, like legit. Like this is, I felt that.
I felt the cruising down Lakeshore Drive.
Fact.
It's always on Lakeshore Drive.
WGCI playing, so
man.
Nah, it's too good for WGCI.
I love it. What'd you say?
I said it's too good for WGCI.
It's too good. Oh, I love it.
I don't know. It's like a cool, like chill.
And I wasn't sure how much people were gonna resonate with this particular piece, you know. And I'm finding that more people are resonating with it than what I thought. You know, it's like kind of like the songs that you like, you know, and people are like, nah, I really, I feel that. Any other pieces on this? Any other comments on this?
I'm glad you had the trumpets in. I think that's a really good vibe. And I feel like the piano kind of set the pace for everything, and it felt like they meshed very well. But I'd say I really like your words of encouragement, and you know, now knowing this is written during the pandemic, and I feel like those words still resonate a lot today, and it definitely made me feel good inside about, you know, that we all have a destiny, and part of that I feel like is making connections.